Dude, worry.
And New Year's Eve. Actually, New Year's Eve isn't even in December anymore because of bonus week.
Nobody's
so New Year's Eve is Saturday 5.
Super Sonic 64 is up there. Okay, check. Why can't I jump? Because we got so okay.
Of the year, and in betweens are spring and fall.
Why can't I jump?
To decide when spring comes. The groundhog now decides all seasons. Alright, you know what time it is. So we got
Santa's winter drama. Subscriber. Over 100,000 billion trillion subscribers. Okay, here is me. I'm the cop. Just gonna get a prisoner. Hey.
Kit Kats have become one of the
prisoner
most popular in the world. In the US, they're mainly known for the default milk chocolate, so we're going to design that one today. But they have a huge variety of flavors in different countries that helps keep them relevant. Anyway, you can probably guess the main suggestion for this one. We got to add a cat onto the cat. We'll definitely get to that, but first I have a couple ideas I want to go through first. Now, something you'll notice about candy packaging and just food packaging as a whole is they
no prison
star.
How does everybody like to play Santa?
Traditional looking star, but I think
really?
some uniqueness is needed since literally every star is just drawn the same. Okay, this is gonna look a little bit messy for just a second. But just trust the process. Then we're gonna get a big rectangle, something like this. I'm gonna
officially
the S and starburst. The S, of course, fitting nicely into that big star. And
the best game everybody joined since 2006. Yeah. Oh, 2006. Oh, 2006. But I just want to see a 2005 Roblox with no face. Because they're just so brownies or whatever. It's not white, so it's sick on the body.
The most popular Starburst flavor. I know they have packages of just pink ones, but I think maybe we just emphasize that a little more.
What is it? Ah!
And I want the star to stick out a little more compared to the rest of the trail. Maybe a nice drop shadow sort of thing. Ooh.
Okay, do.
We're gonna make
Okay, one gift. Can someone YouTube get on?
But supposedly the word star
oh yes, Garish.
During the space race. I mean, clearly it worked. These are super popular now. But I don't know, that seems like almost malicious that they just ruined that word with no connection at all. So it's good we're getting some sort of star theming.
Go in the games, Haunted Mansion,
we definitely have to mess with
visit online,
first, I do have an
and
idea
play.
For the S specifically. I want to emphasize that it's part of the star rather than just being an S inside of a star. I'm not gonna lie to you, that is not...
Today,
I don't want to
how I wanted it to look. Then as a nice final touch, we're going to add just a few more stars.
I look like we're just going to do some homework.
If you're relatively new to the channel, you might categorize that's not really
your head's like a sword I go on that stud.
But now I've locked myself into actually
stud.
I don't know if that's necessarily a good or bad thing. I feel like I have to take these a lot more seriously,
funky.
But I like to think I'm still making it kind of funny. Like, should I lean harder into the legit graphic design work, or should I try to make
Cool
it
complex. Visit online,
anyway,
requesting,
then I'm just gonna do whatever I want. Can't forget to add some of the subtext. Again, I'll tweak this a little more later. Okay, so the main thing is I'm just going to add the subtext of the calories and whatever. And sadly, I think we do have to shrink this down a little to keep the top of the star in the bag even after you rip it off. Maybe I can get some stars up there real quick.
Hello.
Nice, there we go. Then let's add a little fruit choose text.
Hi there.
Future me is so that we can read it.
I said it 2 times?
I can't really find any high quality photos, but as you can imagine, it's just gonna look something like this. Honestly, that looks
I'm underneath the ground. I'm underneath the ground. Seriously?
and I'm actually gonna have it bend the opposite way to fit with the curve of this star rather than the curve of the drop.
Look at
Anyway, here's the final versions
me.
of both of those.
I use this to
Turned out
just
pretty solid, actually.
look.
On to another bite-sized fruity
In your
item.
Christmas
Mike and
day.
Ike's. I don't know if this is a hot take
See
or not,
what's
but I
up.
feel
My
like Mike and Ike's
face.
are top-tier candy. They've got a perfect little shape. They're nice to chew on. Taste nice. What else can you ask for? This is the current look of Mike and Ike's, but when I was researching, I came across the past design that I remember when I was growing up. I don't know when this one was on the market, but if you ask me, it kind of gives some Y2K vibes. And with things like digital cameras and fashion items from the early 2000s popping up again, I think Mike and Ike's
could buy fake
but
disease.
full-on dive into that Y2K aesthetic. I do want to maintain that sort of wavy background, so let's try to find something like that. These edges are a little too sharp compared to this, so I'm going to blur it out a little bit. I'm just going to search Y2K and see what pops up. Yeah, like these shapes are going to be nice. For some reason, I thought it was Mike and Ike with the little ampersand.
A dive?
Personal Mandela effect.
And I just gotta use this to swim. I'm swimming.
I could do with the bevel and emboss. Yeah. Maybe it would be better if the background's just black. I don't know. We'll experiment. We'll see. Fit these letters together however we can.
Look at those studs.
Sure. Maybe we can just get like
right, the studs, Louis.
I don't know if you guys remember.
I like old Roblox.
Campaign where they would sell just Mikes and just Ikes. What was that about, man?
Why can't I climb?
Mike and Ike were breaking up. No. But looks like they sorted it out within a year. Maybe we should make this all centered, actually. There's a lot of empty space otherwise. Let's get just some floating Mike and Ikes in the background.
I'm just going to swipe with this, okay?
Oh, this is so goofy. Speaking of me going back to bad graphic design.
Louis?
And here's the final
What am I doing with
package.
this?
I actually kind of dig it. We got two really nice and clean designs and one really sick one. We have a pretty solid start, but we've still got a bunch to go through. But looking at all this candy and thinking about
Look at this, so good,
but good news, being as healthy as ever with today's sponsor, Factor. Eating healthy comes with a lot of downsides. There's so much time and stress in meal planning, shopping, and cooking. Eating out is just way too expensive. But with Factor, you can get cheaper, fresh, and ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door.
What?
A weekly menu of 35 options, including vegan and protein plus, and it's always fresh and frozen. I normally eat the exact same thing every day because I just don't want to think about it. But having such a quick and convenient option meant I have something new to try while still having plenty of time to go outside, live life, you know?
Let me rejoin.
My initial thoughts were surely a refrigerated
I'm just going to
meal like
rejoin
this
it.
can't taste that good, but I'm
Roblox
being serious when I say these exceeded my
2006.
expectations. Every
I mean,
meal was actually so
2007, I guess it
tasty.
was.
So to give it a try, head to
Pool complex, visit online, friend bets, and go play.
Off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code OATS50 at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. Anyway, next we got Milky Way. I know you know where this is going. Same sort of deal as the first two. We're going to make it a little more literal and add the Milky Way galaxy sort of theme. But turns out they're actually already doing that. And I'm not talking about the swirl in the background here. I'm talking about the international versions outside of the US and Mexico.
Okay.
This packaging looks sick. You might notice that the inside looks a little different though. Apparently the international version of Milky Way is the same thing as the American Three Musketeers. Like seriously, this one looks so bland compared to these. Anyway,
Someone just exit this
rip
experience
these off,
and
since we already have that kind of minimal space theme with Starburst, I want to make something a little different, maybe making the graphics a little more realistic or something. So let's start with the background. Let's just get some cool looking space. Let's see, Milk Swirl. That worked surprisingly well.
I don't like Bellboy.
It's easy to find the vibe.
13th century world. What's on it? What's on it?
get a caramel splash? Yeah, we can. Let's go.
Let me try, okay.
Maybe we get the
2007
NASA font
Roblox.
just to keep with the theme as much as possible. Or you know, what if
Galaxy Wars, aye aye.
you see the NASA logo right here? Imagine it's just that, but the little
Okay.
swirls are the milk and the caramel.
Galaxy Wars.
We gotta warp these around
Game.
to fit within those lines. Milky Way is
Galaxy
essentially
game.
just the halfway point between Snickers and Three Musketeers, just with one ingredient difference between all of them. I think it's funny that people care about each ingredient enough that they separated them into 3 separate products. That looks
Oh my
so
gosh, I just want to say
sloppy.
what
You know, that's a funny
would
reference.
the
I'ma stick
word
to it.
would the
There you go.
word.
Nice. Now jumping
Would
into the world of
the
sour
papa.
candy, we
Let's
got
go.
the most popular one, Sour Patch Kids.
Dog
Apparently the
That's what I
original name
like,
for these
Sour
was
Patch Kids, my
Marsmen, but
favorite.
we're not going back to that. We can't have a third space-themed one. People say they changed the name to Sour Patch Kids because of the success of Cabbage Patch Kids at the time, which these have definitely surpassed in popularity. In my mind, when you use the word sour as an adjective to describe kids
My
or
God,
people,
Jared.
it feels like that can translate over to punk. So similar to the Mike and Ike box, we're gonna fully dive into the aesthetic, but this time with the kind
No,
of
we just
paper
gotta make
cutout
look at the
punk
games.
side. I feel like you gotta have that newspapery background, but you want to keep the color.
Okay,
And you gotta
more
get a font that
games.
looks kind of like those cutout letters from different magazines and stuff. Just mess with the
Okay,
text,
more games,
patch it
more
around.
games.
Maybe we get one of the Sour Patch Kids that has like the face and everything. Yeah, that red one's iconic. And you always gotta cover up the eyeballs with some tape or something. You see that all over YouTube too. I want to put this guy in like a little Polaroid. We're gonna take out the polygonal lasso tool. Shout out to
Funky.
last episode.
Why
Um,
did everybody
I don't
go?
really
Why
know where I'm
did
going with
everybody
this
go?
one. I don't know if this one's
Where
turning out
did
very good. Here's
everybody
the final
go?
one anyway. But good news,
Isn't
I
it
have a
player
backup
here?
plan.
Any
And of
player
course,
here?
that's with our first
One more player
bonus
here?
candy.
Just good.
When I was a kid, I used to think Sour Patch Kids were for kids, and then Sour Patch Watermelon were for adults. Because as you can see, they didn't have the word kids in there. So I thought those were like the adult exclusives. So I think it'd be kind of fun to run with that idea and make some Sour Patch Watermelon bags that are catered towards adults rather than kids. Usually catering towards adults means catering towards a healthy crowd. So you'll see brands like these
Then,
pop up where they're trying to act a little healthier
Santa.
and make you feel a little better about yourself. The one thing about these that does bother me though is that they're the prime example of real life clickbait. Like these perfect looking little watermelons are just not what you get in the bag. It's fine, they still taste good, but just like be more upfront about what they look like. I don't know. We'll actually get a picture of one of the candies in here. We'll get like a little star sort of background behind it. Almost a sunburst sort of thing, like I was saying earlier. We'll warp this around so that we can get these all around it nicely. Maybe we don't even need the leaves actually.
Yes.
Our patch. I feel like making it plural sounds a little
Games?
healthier.
Select these
I don't know
games.
why. We get a little oval behind it. Not what I was originally imagining, but it works. Here's the final version, and of course, I got another bonus candy for you. Yay! This time it's something that technically doesn't even exist yet. This is a genius product idea, but it's based off the existing brand, Nerds. These have been around forever, and then people just slowly started thinking and talking about them less
Sorry,
and
just
less,
Santa.
until out of nowhere, Nerds gummy clusters started popping off. These are seriously one of the most popular candy, at least from what I've seen. These weirdly got really popular several years after they actually released, but you might also remember the other Nerds products that these were based off of, the Nerds Rope. Now, hot take, I actually like these better than the clusters. The problem is, as of now, they're always sold in the single ropes. So my idea is that we make bags just as big as these gummy cluster ones. But filled with the
Everybody
Nerds
likes to
ropes
play
instead of the
Santa.
clusters. These packages already
don't
look
like to
fine.
play
This is more about just
Santa.
making the new product.
'Cause I
don't
don't
know about
like
you guys, but I
Santa
think these little
Claus.
mascots are so cute. They look like if Yoshi's design was based off a kiwi. That would be a win
Hey.
combo in my book. I
Wait,
think the
wait,
concept of Nerds is so funny.
You're just like,
It's literally
yo,
sugar
dude,
coated in
hey,
sugar.
it's some
Like,
real
basically every candy is
studs.
already made of pure sugar, but it's just so funny that they don't even try to hide
Edward,
it at all.
man,
Let's just get one of these
suck.
guys standing there. A lot of you
Sucks.
put
You
Nerds
suck.
on their bags.
You're
You know, as in
Edward.
this
You
guy.
suck.
Every time I see that emoji, I just
You
get so
suck.
bothered and annoyed. I know
Okay,
that's the whole
once
point of the meme, but I
gift.
just can't do it. I can't do
How
it.
much
There you
gift
go.
can I
New
get
Nerds
next?
products. They make that
Okay,
they'll make
goodbye.
Starburst are pretty close, but here's me putting my
Sorry,
favorite
it's
on the globe.
goodbye.